now they are answerable to the relatives that इसलिए भेजा था बेटी को कि नाक काट दे.
एक्चुअल देखो जाके ग्राउंड वर्क क्या होता है एग्जैक्टली. यू नो एक ट्वीट करने से या एक स्टोरी लगाने से कोई कुछ नहीं होने वाला है.
This project is more viable to go on a OTT platform or whatever, or an indie space. It goes there, and if they think that no, it might be more viable to release it in a theater, in these many theaters, in these kind of theaters, then they do that.
Hi guys, this is Ankita. You're tuned into peepingmoon.com, and आज सजनी शिंदे का वायरल वीडियो वायरल ही क्यों हुआ वो पूछने के लिए I have Nimrat, Radhika, Nikhil and Sumant with me. Welcome.
Thank you.
ये वायरल करने का प्लान किसका था? टीचर्स डे से सीधे वायरल वीडियो पे जंप करने का प्लान किसका था?
बहुत लोगों का. बहुत लोगों का.
बड़ा इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है अभी.
ताकि आप लोग बात करें, आप ये सवाल पूछें.
हाँ, इसके लिए
कि क्यों वायरल होगा, क्या वायरल हुआ, you know?
I happened to see the trailer before we started this interview, and it makes sense if you will ask me. वायरल हम जिस कंटेंट के बारे में बहुत इजीली बात कर लेते हैं, हम रियलाइज़ भी नहीं करते जिस कंटेंट को हम वायरल कर रहे हैं उसका रेपरकशन क्या है. When this script came to you and Nikhil, when you presented them this, किसी के भी दिमाग में ये फर्स्ट थॉट था कि have we as actors also thought about it कि इसका रेपरकशन क्या होगा, क्योंकि किसी वायरल वीडियो का रेपरकशन कभी डिस्कस ही नहीं किया जाता उसे वायरल करने से पहले. I think that's the reason this film is.
That's one of the ideas. It's just not a mere a viral video. You know, we are living in times where social media is a big impact. I mean, that one wrong speech by a politician or one line wrong by someone, especially on some who's on public diasporas. You know, so the film initially talks about the fact that how a video of a teacher goes viral and what repercussions it creates in her life, in her close one's life, from where she belongs, her family, and how one video can change so many things, you know, and create so many repercussions is what the film is about. And so
I was coming to that. हमारे नेशन में टीचिंग या टीचर्स को एक बहुत मोरालिटी कोड के साथ हम एसोसिएट करते हैं. शायद हम सबकी वो अपब्रिंगिंग और हमारा सबका एजुकेशन कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट एज वी से रहा हो. And of course, there are many such professions. Teacher comes to my mind because we are talking about the film. How do we suddenly make them different from who they are? How can their profession be their everything and not their own life? And we subject them to such scrutiny. You are playing the teacher, so I will start with you. How do you feel when, and as an actor also, I would say, you people are put under so much scrutiny. One thing from you will lead to mayhem maybe by the end of this interview.
I think that is why I could relate to the character a lot, because sometimes, especially when you're starting out and you're not aware about the how-abouts of the industry and how media works, you just want everything to be great. And अगर आपका पहला इंटरव्यू या कुछ इधर से काट के चिपकाया जाता है, then you just get defensive when a bad article comes out or a video gets viral, whatever it is, and you just get defensive and you just feel helpless that how do I explain to millions of people that I'm not this person?
Exactly.
And it doesn't only affect you, it affects your family members, it affects your friends. So now they are answerable to the relatives that इसलिए भेजा था बेटी को कि नाक काट दे. So it's all of that. And when it comes to teachers, like it actually happened in India down south with a teacher,
Yes.
Where she posted a picture of hers on her private profile on Facebook. The student followed her, वो picture देखी, and the father actually complained to the school
What is she
that
wearing?
उन्होंने ये picture कैसे डाल सकती है, बच्चों पे क्या असर पड़ेगा, and वो उन्होंने एक personal trip से picture डाली है, and she actually got suspended from the school.
yeah.
So it is, I don't understand, it just makes me feel agitated कि वो स्पेस ही नहीं बची है बिकॉज ऑफ द सोशल मीडिया कि आप कुछ कर पाए. वो प्राइवेट स्पेस ही नहीं, वो बाउंड्री कुछ नहीं है. आपको हर टाइम बस एक पता नहीं क्या प्रूव करते रहना, और अगर आप एक अच्छी इमेज भी प्रूव करें उसमें भी कुछ गलती है. सो दैट्स द रीजन दिस फिल्म इज रियली क्लोज टू माई हार्ट कि it dwells into such issues the repercussions that you spoke about, and I just hope it makes people think.
And it can happen to anyone, not just
Yeah.
actors or someone in diaspora.
sure.
It can happen to anyone, a doctor or teacher or anyone.
The reason I picked up actors and asked Nimrat and Sumit, आप लोग opinion दें तो दिक्कत है और ना दें तो भी दिक्कत है. So how do you as individual decide that this is our space and we want to protect it? When we use the word privacy, how you make sure that it stays private with you, be it anything, any aspect of your life or your career even?
So I I'm not interested in my own opinions, honestly, because I feel like
This is the best thing I have heard.
because that is such a limited way of living,
Yeah.
Because मेरी समझ से, मेरी सोच से चार दीवारी में मेरा ओपिनियन क्या फालतू बातें हैं,
किसको बातें करेगा?
So उसको अपनी जेब में रखो, enjoy करो life, take things lightly. I think we don't need to create battles that don't exist. Half the time we do that. घर पे बैठ के सब एक्टिविस्ट बन जाते हैं, या घर पे बैठ के सब आप एक्चुअल देखो जाके ग्राउंड वर्क क्या होता है एग्जैक्टली. एक ट्वीट करने से या एक स्टोरी लगाने से कोई कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. 24 घंटे में वो बदल जाएगा.
Exactly.
सो इट्स जस्ट आई एम अवेयर ऑफ दैट. ऐसा नहीं है कि आई एम पैसिव कि मुझे कभी भी कुछ नहीं बोलना है, बिकॉज आई रिकॉग्नाइज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि मैं बोलूँगी तो 4 लोग शायद ज़्यादा सुनेंगे. But I don't misuse that, and I don't carry that weight with me ever, and I don't care for opinions, and I don't care to give opinions. I don't think we need to live in a world with more opinions than exist already.
What about you, Sumit?
I also feel that, I mean, this whole thing about, certain actor has said that, or a teacher has put this, or a politician has said this, and when you portray or put an opinion out, saying that what effect is it going to have on people, you're essentially saying that I'm smart, I know what this is, but people are dumb, so they're not going to get it. So firstly, aisa nahi hai. Everybody is smart, perhaps smarter than you, so let's not take responsibility for 1.8 billion people who exist on this earth. Let's just do our shit well. Firstly, you should do that. And secondly, opinions keep changing. Like I thought my father was a great athlete when I was a kid. Then I realized that he wasn't. And then I realized that he was probably okay. Or I thought that a friend of mine was really smart, and I've said it. I've said it everywhere, and then I realized that he wasn't that smart. So opinions change.
Exactly.
And it's not criminal to change your opinion.
Of course.
But in today's day and age, if somebody gives out an opinion, you're like, hey, तूने बोला था.
How dare you?
बोला था, मेरे को तभी लगा था, अभी नहीं लग रहा है ऐसा. And that's fine. So you shouldn't you should also do some gardening and other things also you should do. Pottery or whatever. Like,
He does
go,
pottery in the film, by the way.
I
learn
like
to
that.
cook. There are other things you can do. Paragliding, whatever. I mean, don't just listen and give opinions.
You are right, Sumit. इस social media के age and time में, and considering we are also from the visual medium field, everything we have to be as I think I might have taken that note right or not. We have to so much put in effort and emphasis to put everything out there.
Yeah.
Why? And then we complain also that why it's so much out there and we have nothing to hold back. Yeah. Was there ever a point, even in your careers, that you want to hold back things and not share it with anyone?
Not just careers, personal life also. Sometimes you're just not interested in opening the app and putting something on. किसी को wish करने का नहीं मन किया. इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि मुझे आप पसंद नहीं हो या मुझे आपको wish नहीं करना. एक कमाल की बात है कि friends जो होते हैं, उनके लिए validation friends की बात हो रही है. हाँ, forget actors, forget all that. अगर social media पे wish नहीं किया तो मतलब you're not a friend enough.
Oh yes, I hear you hear that every second day. तुमने मुझे
What
wish
about a
नहीं
good
करा.
old phone call? What about landing up with a cake? What about that? I thought that was the good stuff. So I don't take that pressure, man. जब मन करता है करो, जब नहीं मन कर रहा है bounce.
I like it.
Simple.
And anyone else is still bounded by that pressure? You तो I'm not. I'm taking pottering after your suggestion.
I so tell people that अरे तुम्हारे बारे में किसी ने डाला ही नहीं तो मेरे को कैसे याद रहेगा तुम्हारा बर्थडे. कोई डालता तो मैं देखता तो फिर मेरे को याद आता. Then I would have wished you. Now,
Mikhil, what took you so long to come with this film? It was a pretty long gap, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, after Meri Chana, yes. Well, one long vacation we all got was COVID.
A vacation we never wanted to go.
Yes, and I always feel that every film has its own destiny.
Yes, it does.
Irrespective of its budget, length, But somewhere I felt to get the writing part of this film right, because there's a lot going on in the film, a lot of recurring themes, lot of characters, so we took that sweet time on the script. And of course, then casting is a process. And as they say that you get your casting and writing right in 50% through, So we took that advice very seriously. So yeah, and then multiple schedules, So, but now, but we are very happy with what time we have got, and we made the film which we all believed in, So that's more important.
I think the film is coming at a time where theaters are embracing the films, the subject lines, the stories, the way, and it also shows audience are willing to go out and see different material. You just can't constrain them in one particular genre and say कि ये चल रहा है. I, as a journalist, I wouldn't say ये चल रहा है. There is so much more to see, and how you feel as actors, it's one of the beautiful times, big screens, the films and the themes.
It's amazing. It's the best time to be alive as an actor. It's only getting better. The kind of content, scripts, ideas that come to me now were not exist. They didn't exist 5 years ago, very honestly, or maybe 7 years ago, whatever. And I think OTT has a big part to play there.
Yes.
Because suddenly mediocrity doesn't work. People don't have the time to watch rubbish. They don't want to. People move on after 5 minutes, So it's a great time here for a girl, for female actors. There are all kinds of subjects being made. And I'm not coming this with a pseudo-feminist point of view. I just mean genuinely that you feel so grateful and happy as an actor working in a scenario where you're not just championing the hero, aap cheerleader nahi ho, those are all parts of your career. They can't be everything you're doing. So I love that. I love the variety the times have brought. Whether वो OTT पे release हो रहा है या theatre पे, वो भी पता नहीं होता है कई बार. One doesn't know nothing is decided. So it's a great time to get into great projects, collaborate with fabulous people. For the first time, I feel like the combination of people that is coming together creatively is just the most electric.
You, in fact, I have to congratulate you before I move to Radhika for School of Lies. I think it was probably one of the fabulous performances I saw this year.
Thank you very much.
Followed by you had started the year with the best show. You had Saas Bahu Flamingo going for you. And all female protagonist, stories to tell. How you also evaluate this time and space? Of course, theatres is first love for so many of us. But the space of telling stories, the narratives you want to be part of.
It is the best time to be an actor. And because of OTT, the risk-taking appetite has increased.
Exactly.
So people are thinking out of the box. They're acting on it. Earlier, people used to just say it, and they used to just resort to the fact that पर बनेगी थोड़ी, approve थोड़ी करेगा कोई कुछ. And now they're making it, they're putting it into action. So and rightly said, like the parts that we get offered now are way more exciting. And it challenges you. It every single day you're scared to go on the set that will I be able to crack this or not. And it is an exhilarating time. And I hope this film, Sajini Shinde Ka Viral video, brings people to the theatres. And वो जो एक mid-level films होती थी, और हम वो अच्छा काम करती थी, लोग देखते थे, connect करते थे, relate करते थे, वो वापस आए. वो जो wave थी, वो वापस आए, ताकि हम theatres में उस लेवल की भी फिल्मों को ला पाए.
Exactly. And I think these films are also imperative because बहुत easily हमने बीच में एक narratives establish कर दिया था, वो आप OTT पे फिल्म ले जाएं. It is not a तहमत कि आप OTT पे फिल्म ले जाएं. And this I have to ask you because you have probably one of the best work on OTT. You, hands down, you have such an impressive body of work there. कभी ऐसा लगा कि when people very easily also dismiss and say कि इस medium पे, किसी भी medium के बारे में उस पे अपना काम ले जाएं. Medium is a medium at the end of the day.
Yeah, medium is a medium. I mean, like like right now when you're doing an interview, you won't do it any less because it's for a particular medium or do it more. है ना. ऐसा तो नहीं कि कोई कम एक्टिंग करेगा या कम फोकस लेगा अगर वो OTT के लिए, और पिक्चर के लिए तो बढ़िया से फोकस लेगा या फटे हुए कपड़े पहन के. ऐसा तो नहीं करते.
Exactly.
You tell a story with the same amount of zest and honesty, and that's how it's supposed to be said, and then it decides its own, because medium also has a lot to do with the finance of it, and that you should embrace it rather than look down upon it. There is a lot of money riding on these things. People are making films, producing films. Financiers are putting money into films or shows because they want to recover the money, and there's nothing wrong with it. You are satisfying your artistic whatever stimuli, but like not everybody wants to do that. So in that sense, they think whatever is viable for that particular project. If this project is more viable to go on a OTT platform or whatever, or an indie space, it goes there. And if they think that no, it might be more viable to release it in a theater, in these many theaters, in these kind of theaters, then they do that. It's a bet that one takes. And you should take it with a pinch of salt, and not like look down or up on those decisions.
Because this was something I was hearing so much. I'm like, I might well ask. Suddenly, सबको medium की condescending tone कहाँ से याद आ गई है? That also happens. And lastly, I think every trailer leaves you with something. Yours left me with your dialogue, and I would like the woman card one, Aadhaar card की तरह use करना बंद करो. What was the thought behind that? I personally need to ask. I loved it. That stayed with me in my notes in the very first viewing.
So, as I mentioned, we were 4 writers, and 2 of the female writers, Anu and Parinda, and we've been working very closely with. So, a lot of things happen around you, and as you were talking about opinions, I like to limit my opinions in my film. So
even better.
So that's the 2 hour I'm given to show what we feel, and so what all we feel about things that are happening around us, we have to try to capsulate it inside the film. So the dialogue is one of those many opinions we have, which eventually you will see in the film.
Definitely was needed. That has been thrown
Can
around
I just
a little
add
casually.
very quickly that what he said earlier, one of the interviews was that, and it's also very important that a girl says this line, because it can be out of context.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lens changes, So that gender politics is also to be borne
That
in
gender
mind.
politics would have blown into another viral video
Exactly. Yes.
by the end of it. कि
Absolutely.
उसने कैसे कह
एक
दिया?
आदमी ने ये line कैसे कह दी?
That's the reason I'm not even repeating that line.
But I think that's a wise one, and this one looks equally promising and thrilling. So,
Thank
as I would say, have the best time at theatres and the movies, and thank you for
Thank
the
you.
subjects and the stories you always come up with.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Enjoy the film.
Yes, we do. Thank you.